Hi, welcome to another episode of Practical Programming. Our today's problem is duration in time. So let's look at the details of the problem. It says we would be given with two intervals of time in the given day. It would be the same day. And in these two time periods, we need to find the difference between them. So our input looks like this. So let's say our first input is hour 2 minutes 20 at the start, and it ends at hour 5 and minute 15. So we need to find difference between these two. So the output should be hour is 2 and minutes 55. That's the difference between these two intervals. Let's look at another example. So if start hour is 8 hour and minutes is 10, and end hour is 9 and end hour is 45 minutes, the difference between these two should be 1 hour and 35 minutes. Let's try to understand the problem, how we're going to approach and solve this. That's our input. Let's assume a time period. Divide that by in hours from 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So we'll calculate the number of minutes in the first hour that we are interested in. So as our interested time starts at 2 hours and 20 minutes, we're going to pick from here. So in the first hour, we figure out that we are 40 minutes are the ones we are interested into. And after that, we're gonna calculate all the hours and all the minutes we require. So from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, we need 120 minutes that we are interested into. After that, we have another time interval of 15 minutes, which is at 5 o'clock and 15 minutes. So our last hour has 15 minutes in it. If we add all these intervals and then divide it by 60, we get number of hours, and if we make a mod of that total, we get remaining minutes. So like that, we would be easy enough for us to calculate the difference of interval between these two time. So let's try to code that, and we'll understand why did we take that approach. Alright, let's start doing this by declaring a name of a class, and let me put some random name, duration in time. Sand of time is something I remember from that game. Oh my bad. So public static void main, and that should create this. Let me just run this. Alright, there are some couple of changes I have to make, because I realized today that somebody who does not have Java 8 like JDK 8 but some other different version like 9 or anything after that, one of the class might not work over here. So we'll update that later in the tutorial. I need to take input from the user for these two intervals, right? Start time and end time. Let's say private static final scanner. Let's initialize that. Scanner system dot in. Alright, now that we have that, we'll say scanner next int, right? That's how we take the integer, and I'm gonna do alt enter on this next int, and it's gonna give me integer. I'm gonna say start hour. I'm gonna do on this line control D, so I'll get that, and I'm gonna say start minute. Alright, we have this. Let me just copy the whole thing. I'm pretty good at this. I'm gonna say, oh, you could do this like press alt on Windows and do cover these, and I'm gonna say end. So what I get is end hour and end minute. So let's just print this out. S out start hour, just to make sure we are able to get these values. Start hour, okay, and start minute, start minute, then gonna have end hour and end minute. This is gonna be end, this is gonna be end minute. I don't worry about cases anymore, I guess. Let's run that to check we are able to get the input from the user. So our input would be 2 o'clock 20 minutes, and at the end it's going to be 5 o'clock and 15 minutes. And if I enter it, I guess I am able to do that, so I can get the input and I can print those. So code so far looks good. So let's get the interval between the what's the number of minutes in the first hour that we are interested into. So how do we get that? So we know, let me just write that over here. Control Y, and I'm gonna create a timeline. I don't know how much is that helpful, but let's say that's our timeline. And here is, oops, my bad. Here's our 2 o'clock, then 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and that's 6 o'clock. Then reduce this. So let's assume we are starting at 2:20, so it's going to be here to here, which our number of minutes in our first hour which we are interested into. Let's get int okay, minutes in first, my bad, first, can't spell anymore, first hour. It's going to be like this. So we know there are 60 minutes an hour, so wherever it starts we're gonna minus these first two. So let's say we covered this completely and then minus that or subtract that by 220, sorry, first 20 minutes, so we get 40 minutes. So I'm gonna say 60 minus start minute. So what I'll get is minutes in the first hour. Okay, so we got our first interval. All right, let's get our second interval. It's gonna be a little tricky, not sure how, but I'll tell you that. Let's say we need to get from 3 to 5, right? So it's gonna be between start hour and end hour. So it's gonna be like this. We know the value of end hour is gonna be higher than the one at over here, so we're gonna have to do that. So minutes in between, cool, let's say that is okay, it's gonna be end hour because that's the bigger value, minus start hour. All right, and multiply that by 60. Okay, let me just get, say, interval hours. All right, so let's, for simplicity, we'll write that in another line, and when we're gonna say int minutes in between, and let's say interval hours, multiplied that by 60, and we're gonna get number of minutes between 3 to 5, which is 120. So this should have 120. Now that we got that, let's say our third would be number of minutes at the end, right, from 5 to 5:15. So this we need to get. So actually you could just directly say is that is n minutes. I could just write this int minutes in last hour is equal to end minute. I don't have to do anything, I can get that directly. So I have these three components. So what I can do is int total number of minutes, I can't spell minutes, come on, do something, minutes in first hour plus minutes in between plus minutes in last hour. Now that I have total, I can write something like this. All right, a difference. Okay, I'm gonna say int different, oh, what I'm doing, int difference hour. So that's the difference between those two intervals would be like this: total number of minutes divided by 60. So how many hours it has, I will get that, and let me do this again. Difference in, and we need to get remaining minutes. Remaining, my bad, remaining, I can't spell, remaining minutes. So that needs to be mod, so we're gonna get remainder actually. So let's print that out. I can't spell, what's going on today. Cool. So I can say s out. So hour should be like this, difference between hour and gonna say minutes plus remaining minutes. Cool, let's run this, and I'm gonna try to put some input over here. Hang on, I made a mistake here already. Okay, no, that's fine. So let's say our first 2 hour 20 minutes, and at the end 5 hour 15 minutes. So we do get the answer which is right, which is, hang on, what's going on? The difference between these two should be 2 hours 55 minutes. What did we do? Okay, I realize now why it's 3, because we are trying to reduce this. 5 minus 3, we get 2. Okay, 2 hours, and then we add, hang on, my bad. The problem lies over here. Start hours to end hours this, so that's the interval. Let me debug that. 2 hour, oh my bad, 2 hour 20 minutes, 5 hour 15 minutes, center that. All right, and next. So interval hours is actually 3, is because start hour is 2. I see. So the problem lies here. So start hour is 2, that's why it's misleading. It's not 3, of course it's not 3. So we need to make sure that offset is managed, because we are interested, we're already covering this time, right, by taking start minute. So we should be interested in 2 3. So whatever number I get over here, I'm gonna reduce that by 1. If I just do this, -1. All right, so it will take care of the offset. Stop the debugger, run this again, and I'm gonna say 2 hours 20 minutes, 5 hour 15 minutes. So we get our answer. That's cool. And let's try this one more time. 8 hours 10 minutes, 9 hours 45 minutes. Cool, so it does give us the answer. So it's a simple way of solving it. I still believe it's quite harder to solve in this manner. What I would suggest is you to do is, in Java they have something called calendar API. Use that, you'll find it. This hustle is not worth it, because everything is done for you. We are just doing this for practice, trying to understand how we can code a different type of question. So thank you so much for your time, and you have a good day. Don't forget to subscribe, it helps me make more videos. Take care, bye bye.